hold monthly meetings to review market conditions, conformity and compensation, and plan to meet again on June 7th.
And now we are joined over the phone by our prominent guest, Dr. Hisham Abou Bakr, international economic expert who is joining us from China. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, Dr. Hisham, first, how do you assess the fallout of the Middle East conflict so far? How do you describe the features? Unbalanced convoy
grouping of oil-producing countries, including
actually the crisis in the Middle East is unprecedented because it's not only the conflict between two countries, it's a regional conflict, and it will affect not only the region, it will affect the whole world economy. So now we are holding our breath, and you know, in the stake, maybe the big crisis more than financial crisis 2008, and all the countries are being affected by this crisis so far. As you can see, the energy prices has hiked up, so all the countries are suffering, and the prices of the food, the prices of the industrial products, the consumption of everything now is being stopped because financial has affected the family, the purchasing power also is going down. So maybe we are in the recession period. If the things get worse, maybe it will be a lot of crises coming and one by one.
So say US President Donald Trump said that he would likely refuse the Iranian new proposal so far. Did that statement affect the global markets and notably the energy markets?
Actually, today the oil price has dropped 2% just because he announced the new initiative, which he called the HOP initiative, to support the ships blocked in the Persian Gulf and trying to, you know, let them back to their countries. And but the initiative is not acceptable from the American side, and they made amendments to this initiative from Iranian side. But frankly speaking, the gap between the two countries is still big because the demand from the United States side is very big, and the concessions from Iranian side is very small at this moment. Both sides consider themselves winners, but in fact, both sides have, you know, witnessed big damage in their military bases and the military capacities.
Yes.
So we are not certain until now what will happen during this week or the next week.
So, sir, also, does the drop in the global inflation rates reflect a real improvement, or is it a temporary one?
Actually, we are witnessing on the door of key challenges, three-dimensional crisis. First is the high cost of living, rising food and energy prices. The second crisis also excessive debts, increasing financial vulnerability for many countries, especially the developing countries and emerging countries. Also, the third one is climate change, which negative impacts on productivity. We have witnessed a lot of the countries now going to use coal for each energy production, which will affect more and more the climate change, and will increase the temperature and the floods and the hurricanes and crises all over the world. So this is a big challenge. According to this, not only the war is a challenge itself, but also affect as I said, the food prices, the energy prices, and also the climate change and the debts.
So, sir, how should the developing countries deal with the economic repercussions of the Middle East conflicts?
Actually, the vulnerable countries, Middle East or emerging countries or developing countries, have to shrink its spending and cost-effective budgets, and you know, have to make contingency plans for its economy. As far as I know, most of the countries have lowered down the consumption of energy, and also the budget has been adjusted to the new energy prices. And some countries, even rich countries, ask for support even from the United States, like United Arab Emirates, ask for swap of currencies between them to support its investments and also, demands. So as far as the rich countries is not suffering, but the vulnerable countries are more suffering.
So, sir, also, can you tell us more about the expected scenario for the upcoming period and the main obstacles that might hinder the economic recovery?
Actually, we have two scenarios. The bad scenario is escalating war and the inclusion of more countries inside this war. As the 6 countries in the Gulf area are involved in an indirect way or direct way, and maybe be also escalated to the Bab al-Mandab also corridor and affecting Suez Canal. So this is the worst scenario, which hike up the oil price to $200, which will be a big crisis for many countries, especially Africa and also Latin American countries, vulnerable countries here and there, and some Asian countries also will suffer more. And the good scenario is to reach the deal, and this end escalation, and the price will also go down, stability more for the economy, as we are expecting to have 3.2% of the global economy, growth, and I hopefully have the second scenario to be achieved.
So, sir, also, to what extent have the investments in the fields of artificial intelligence helped in boosting the global economic growth?
Actually, the global economic growth, as I said, 3.2 is driven hike by the big tech companies. As you know, 4 companies, only 4 companies, big tech has investment in this year, 2026, $700 billion in the artificial intelligence, new tech, which makes a global market stability now, even though there is a crisis in the Middle East, but still the financial market is very stable because it's huge investments in this new technology, artificial intelligence, robotics, and semiconductors, new components, and new applications. All this has managed to make a new future for the growth for many countries. So, so far so good for this sector, but also it will affect the other countries who didn't catch up with this technology, and like Africa cannot have this huge investments. So we are still left behind the new revolution, and this is not a good sign for our future.
So, sir, how did the increase in the global debt levels affect the world economy?
Actually, the debt levels now for some countries even overcome the whole GDP, and this is also a bad sign for stability for those countries. We can see now a lot of coups, a lot of social wars, and a lot of civil wars here and there, especially in Africa. And if these debts didn't solve, a lot of also instability all over the world will happen, and protest will be very common, and maybe political changes will happen, because everything starts from the economy, and economy is very important for political stability for countries.
So, sir, also, if we talk about the expectations for the coming period, and how do you see the future of the global economy in the year of 2026? Do you expect it to recover easily, or it will take some time?
Actually, it's very gloomy now to predict what will happen. As I said, there is 2 scenarios, and to be honest with you, to overcome these consequences of this war, it will take at least 3 or 4 months. Some people take 6 months until the balance return back to the production and global change cycle. So it can be recovered, but it's not that easy, like 1 week, 2 weeks. it will take time because many consequences have already happened in these countries. And some companies have been affected, even airline companies have bankrupted already and announced that in the United States. And some other countries also are suffering. Many middle companies also now bankrupted. So we don't know exactly how to solve all this problem in a short time. But hopefully, if the crisis have been solved this week or next week, we can take some recovery about 3 months. To recover these consequences.
I'd like to thank you, Dr. Hisham Abou Bakr, international relations experts joining us from China. Thank you for being with us. And by that, the viewers, we come to the end of today's edition of The Breakfast Show. Thank you for watching.